Music is found in every known society, past and present, and is considered to be universal human. What if the music that developed in the Western world are as old as these fire mummies here in Benguet? Hi dear learners! Join me as we unravel the music that started to flourish in Europe in 500 AD, while these Philippine treasures have also been created in the mountains of the Cordillera. I am Teacher Jason, and you are watching Depet TV. Today, we go back to the time when the Western art music flourished in Europe. So be ready with your pen, paper, and self-learning modules as we describe the musical elements of selected vocal and instrumental music of the medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque music periods.
The first period of Western art music is medieval period.
Let's start with the medieval music. Medieval music was created and performed during the Middle Ages. This would include both music for the Christian Church and non-religious music composed for entertainment purposes.
Medieval music includes solely vocal music, such as the Gregorian chant, and choral music, or music for a group of singers, solely instrumental music, and music that uses both voices and instruments. The Gregorian chant was sung by monks during Catholic Mass. The Mass is a reenactment of Christ's Last Supper intended to provide a spiritual connection between man and God. A neume was the basic element of the Western system of musical notation prior to the invention of the five-line staff notation. The earliest neumes were symbols that indicated the general shape but not necessarily the exact notes or rhythms to be sung. The music, which was not bound by the Catholic traditions and which emerged during the latter part of the medieval period, was called secular music. The group of musicians, known as troubadours, performed these songs across Europe. Later on, these songs were called troubadour music. It is characterized as monophonic, sometimes with improvised accompaniment. Troubadour music, written in French language, talked about chivalry and courtly love.
Many instruments used to perform medieval music still exist in the 21st century, but in different and technologically developed forms. One is flute.
In the medieval era, the flute was made of wood rather than of silver or other metals and could be played as a side-blown or end-blown instrument. The second period of the Western art music is the Renaissance period.
Renaissance came from the French word renaître, which means rebirth, revival, and rediscover. The notable vocal music of Renaissance are Mass and Madrigal.
On one hand, the Renaissance grandists, most highly valued works of vocal music, were polyphonic settings of the Ordinary of the Mass. The Ordinary is composed of 5 texts: Kyrie, Gloria, Credo, Sanctus, and Agnus Dei. The characteristics of Mass are polyphonic, may be sung a cappella or with orchestral accompaniment, and the text may be syllabic, nomadic, or melismatic.
On the other hand, Madrigal, which is a secular polyphonic composition, originated from Italy, was written and expressed in a poetic text and sung during courtly social gatherings. It is the most important secular form during Renaissance period. The characteristics of the madrigal are polyphonic, sung in a cappella, through composed, and frequently in 3 to 6 voices.
The organ, lute, viols, or other instruments accompanied, doubled, or substituted for voices, and organists developed a huge repertoire of music for use in church services, including preludes, interludes, and arrangements of liturgical melodies. In secular music, the lute remained popular both for solos and ensembles. Clavier instruments were coming into wider use, and hundreds of pieces were written for chamber music ensembles.